This is the oldest Hot Wheel I have. Now, what I mean by that is, out of all the Hot Wheels that I have, this is the one I've had the longest. I got this back in 1992, 91, somewhere around there. I don't remember where I got it from, but I drove a four-door Fairmont back in high school. And wherever this came from, I hung on to it. You can see at some point back then, I was very young, I tried to sand it down, and it didn't get very far. And I even scratched up the windshield. So I want to restore this one. I started with a center punch I got about a week ago, and I used it there just to show my son how one works, how a center punch works. So with that, I'm going to drill that rivet out and pull it apart. Now I'm starting here with a 9/64, and almost there. I didn't quite get that center punch right in the center. I should call that an off center punch, because it's just off a little bit. Now, it feels pretty loose. Yeah, that's probably going to work. Okay, so that screwdriver's a little too small. Should probably bend pretty easy. There we go. Alright, so we got that. I think that's going to come off pretty good. And let's see what this little dude's made of. Alright, there's the inside of the Front Running Fairmont from 1981. Whatever year it was. That windshield's not too yellowed. Looks pretty good, actually. I'm going to have to come back and buff that window up. And wow, cool race car roll cage. It'll be fun detailing the inside of this one. So, there we go. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be down there. Maybe a fire extinguisher? Yeah, I think that's a fire extinguisher. So we'll have to get that some detail. There we go. We'll pull these wheels off and we'll clean it up. But first, we gotta get the paint off this body. I'm gonna be working on two cars here at the same time. So yeah, we're gonna throw that in there and then the Fairmont. Okay, there's some boiling hot water here. This extra tall jar. Put my safety goggles on. I don't have a respirator, so I'm gonna have to keep my distance. I'm gonna put my protective gloves on, because this caustic soda that I'm using here is volatile. If this gets on you, it will burn you, and you will have to go to the emergency room. So use at your own risk. I will not be held responsible. I'm only responsible for what I'm doing. Got it? Alright, so I'm going to start with a tablespoon. I'll probably come back with a second one. I'm using an extra tall bottle because this stuff will bubble up. Might be overkill, but I like to use 2 tablespoons. I don't like to waste it. Okay, now I'm going to throw this away. I don't have a long spoon, so that's one of the things. Now you see this? This is hot, very, very hot. So I'm going to give this just a little bit of... All right, I'll let that sit. While that's doing that, we'll work on something else. I can already see the paint coming off that Fairmont down there. Wow. Okay, let's see what we got here. Well, looks like it's coming off pretty good. Got a little brush here for removing excess paint. I like to try to get this off when it's still wet. Seems to come off a little easier. Now you saw how I did that. It was not hard. This is only my second time to do it. I'm very happy with how much of this paint came off on the first try. Very impressed with that. Now the inside's a little bit tougher, I don't know why. But the outside is looking pretty good. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Alright, well, we'll stay at it here for a few more minutes. How much can I get off before I got to get the old dental pick out? Start really attacking it. There we go. Some of that tough paint starting to come off. Pretty good. Not bad. Safety goggles. Now we're ready. That's all right. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to get this, get these wheels off here. I can tell you this, I'm not going to reuse them. I'm probably just going to cut them off. I still got to figure out how I'm going to get an axle through there. I guess I'll just bend those up somehow. Yeah, we'll have to look on somebody else's channel and figure out how they're doing it. So, I'm going to cut these off and clean this base up. I'm not going to make this regular practice, but I don't have the right tool to cut these off, so I guess I could cut them off some other way, but at the moment I don't have another way to do it. Golly, completely destroyed. Come out of there, wheel. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll get that out of there later. There, it's out.
Carrying clear around the house.
We'll move on to the cleaning of the plastic parts here, and then I'll start polishing this up right here and detailing the inside of this car. It's gonna be fun. Now we got all of our little plastic pieces to let's start with the Fairmont, the windshield. In you go. The interior for the Fairmont, the roll cage. The roll cage unclips from the bottom, unfolds. In you go. Well, that may have helped a little bit. I can't really see a difference. I mean, I guess there could be a slight difference, but it's really hard for me to tell. So, and that was with 3% peroxide, no water dilution at all, and that's about 30 minutes worth of direct sunlight. Let's move on to this Fairmont. Now this one I really need to come back and hit that with some 1200 grit sandpaper. We'll see what happens first here. Yeah, I'm afraid those scratches are just too deep. That's going to have to be worked out. I'll go ahead and polish the back window while I'm at it. Wasn't expecting that to happen. My wheel came off. Oh, the inside of this thing's pretty dirty. Let's go hit that with a little bit more polish. Some specially formulated auto polish made by Arm & Hammer Toothpaste Company. Ooh, laying it on thick now. Best smelling windows on this side of the internet. I don't like that wheel is walking on me. Yeah, that little wheel's trying to walk off of me. Didn't care about that too much. Alright, let's give it a rinse and see what they look like. Okay, so this is after I rinsed them off. They haven't been dried yet. I don't have any mop and glow, but I'm going to have to get some. But since we're under this shelter in place restriction, can only go out and get essential stuff. Well, I guess that stuff is available at the grocery store, isn't it? Anyway, just drying them off here, really. Guys, we have to all get through these tough times together, and it's really getting on my nerves. Okay.
I love playing with
Looks a little bit better.
toys.
It's all improvements, right? All improvements. Fairmont windshield. Okay, well, that's all I can do with that for now.